Welcome back to Risk and Bytes series on AI governance and making sense of AI risk. In episode 1, we asked why AI needs governance. Because when machines start making decisions faster than we can blink, somebody has to hold the steering wheel. In episode 2, today, we're going inside the playbook, the one that turns good intentions into repeatable practice. You may have heard of it, the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, or AI RMF 1.0. Now, this isn't a compliance manual, it's a method. NIST describes it as a resource to help organizations manage the many risks of AI so that it can be used in trustworthy and responsible ways. Translation: it's how you make trust scalable. Before we dig in, here's the big picture. The NIST AI RMF is built on 4 core functions. And if you're a visual thinker, imagine them as gears turning in a loop. 1. Govern, the foundation: leadership, accountability, and culture. 2. Map, understanding context, data, and potential impact. 3. Measure, quantifying performance, bias, and reliability. 4. Manage, continuous monitoring and improvement as systems evolve. NIST calls these the functions that enable organizations to manage AI risk. Each one feeds the next. Govern sets the tone. Map frames the risk. Measure builds evidence. Manage keeps it all alive. Now let's break them down. Not as policy buzzwords, but as things you can actually do. NIST puts this first for a reason. Govern is the foundation for all other AI risk management functions. It starts with tone from the top: policies, processes, and people who take ownership. In plain English? Before you build, decide who's accountable if the system goes sideways. How to do it. 1. Create an AI governance committee that spans risk, data, compliance, and tech. 2. Develop an AI charter that defines acceptable use and ethical boundaries. 3. Assign risk owners for each AI system, not just model developers, but the business leaders who depend on them. Governance isn't paperwork, it's permission structure. It's how you move fast without losing control. Number 2, map, know your context. NIST says mapping is about establishing the context to frame the AI risk. Think of it as the diagnostic phase. You identify where the data comes from, who's affected, and what could go wrong if the context shifts. How to do it. Document data lineage and collection methods. Perform AI impact assessments: who benefits, who could be harmed, what bias might sneak in. Classify your use case into risk tiers: low, moderate, or high impact. Mapping exposes the blind spots before they become headlines, because AI doesn't know what's fair until you show it the map. Number 3, measure, quantify trust. According to NIST, measurement supports the ability to understand, monitor, and manage AI risks. This is where trust meets telemetry. You translate words like fairness, robustness, and explainability into metrics. How to do it. Use model cards or AI fact sheets to document training data, testing methods, and limitations. Track accuracy, bias, and drift through automated dashboards. Conduct red team evaluations to simulate misuse or edge cases. Remember, measurement isn't about catching someone. It's about catching problems early. As NIST phrases it, measurements should be used to inform risk treatments and communicate outcomes to stakeholders. In other words, trust needs numbers. And number 4, manage. Keep governance alive. The manage function is NIST's reminder that AI risk isn't static. They write, AI risks change as technologies, data, and context evolve, requiring continuous monitoring and improvement. That means governance isn't a project plan. It's a heartbeat. How to do it. Schedule model review cycles: quarterly for critical, annually for low risk. Implement drift detection alerts that flag when data patterns shift. Maintain a retirement registry of deprecated models to preserve audit history. Establish a stop-use protocol, because sometimes the responsible thing is to pause. Managing means you treat AI like infrastructure. You patch, monitor, and adapt. Remember, govern, map, measure, manage. It's not a checklist, it's a cycle. Each pass through the loop strengthens the next. Govern sets the tone. Map frames the risk. Measure builds the evidence. Manage keeps the system honest. NIST calls it a continuous risk management process. I call it the rhythm of responsible innovation. Imagine a bank building a loan approval AI. Govern assigns accountability to the chief risk officer. Map reveals historical bias in credit scores. Measure sets fairness thresholds and publishes a model card. Manage installs bias tracking and quarterly audits. That's what this looks like in practice. Not theoretical ethics, but operational trust. When organizations adopt this rhythm, something interesting happens. The conversation shifts from can we use AI to how do we use AI responsibly and prove it? That's the magic of the framework. It turns accountability into confidence. And that confidence builds the only currency that really matters in AI: trust. In our next episode, we'll see this framework in motion. How organizations are using it to build AI control towers that monitor trust and risk in real time. Until then, remember, AI governance isn't about slowing down. It's about staying upright while you speed up. Created with AI tools and guided by expert human oversight. Because trust isn't automated, it's engineered.